After Northern troops left the South in 1877, African Americans found themselves in near slavery conditions once again. Without land of their own, they were often reduced to sharecropping, working the land of their former masters in exchange for a share of the year's harvest. The economic structure of sharecropping that allowed near slavery conditions to continue on plantations.
Each year you borrow money, and at the end of the year often you can't pay it back because the price of cotton is falling and what you get for your crop is not enough to actually pay off your debts. So instead of getting out of debt, they're falling further and further into debt each year.
Sharecropping finally ended with the industrial boom of the Second World War. Large numbers of African Americans left the South for factory jobs in the North, leaving behind the farms they had toiled on.
African Americans were segregated, meaning they were separated because of race. Even though the 13th and 14th Amendments were clear on civil rights, the Southern states got around the constitutional laws by passing the Jim Crow laws. These laws and customs stated that it was constitutional to give blacks separate but equal treatment. The problem was the equal part was seldom identical to the whites' privileges. In 1992, an African-American man named Homer Adolph Plessy refused to sit in the colored-only train car. In 1955, a black woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white passenger. Both of these people were arrested for their actions, but they planted a seed of courage in many others. African Americans staged sit-ins and would sit at white-only lunch counters even if they were asked to leave. In the 1960s, dedicated black and white Americans began publicly fighting legal and moral battles for civil rights. A little over 200 years old, you begin to realize a good portion of our country's history was spent waiting for African Americans to be legally treated equally.
Like I said, that's the first time in my life it made me feel that there was a difference in life. Because up until this point in school, I was taught history. I was reading Roman history, Greek history, about the Black Forest in Germany, all types of different history. A little bit about, the first thing I learned was Crispus Attucks was the first black man to die in the Revolutionary War. Definitely learned that in the 3rd grade. And didn't learn too much about slavery. I didn't learn that until later on in school, when school got a little bit more diverse. Times started changing after '69. There was a lot of different things going on and different awareness about blackness going on.
Being black to me, growing up in the era that I came up in, means being bold, being beautiful, being proud, unapologetic, strong, powerful, understanding that the sky's the limit and power concedes nothing without a demand. And that's what black means to me. It's of the Black Panther Party, and then you have Amiri Baraka, aka Leroy Jones, aka Amiri Baraka, and as part of our leadership, and then the people, Larry Hand for the People Organization for Progress, and back then we had our own community school, and I was one of the youngest people allowed to participate in there, so I got to see the strength of our people in an entirely different way, and at a whole nother level, because they were a part of training us and bringing us up, and so although I understood what discrimination was, I understood what some people thought, it allowed me as a part of that group to not allow that to affect who I was.